is April 23rd, 2021. And I wanted to do a reading for the full moon in Scorpio, which is on the 27th of April. But before I do that, I just wanted to have a little chat about what I've been going through in the last week or so. A lot of my shadow side has been coming up that needs to be healed. So if any of you are going through that, you're not alone. As more and more light comes into the planet, the shadow gets larger. So if you think about it as a candlelight getting bigger and bigger, the shadow grows as well. So that's why things are very chaotic in the world right now. In the collective, it's chaotic, and you may feel a little chaotic yourself or a little off balance because our light codes are being activated, our DNA is being activated, and we're re-remembering who we truly are. And as we go through that, we have to look at our shadow side too. So I've been doing a lot of work with that, really journaling my dreams. And the dreams can be kind of chaotic. You know, when you wake up, you're like, what was that about? But if you write them down and you really review the dream, there's information in the dream that can help you to know if you're on the right path or not. So really try to have a dream journal next to your bed and write down your dreams. You can even talk about your dreams to a friend, a close friend that you really trust, and they can help you also to analyze some of that information for you. Personally, as an addict or an alcoholic, I found that I was very isolated recently, in the last few weeks really, and that's not a good thing. So I reached out to a friend who owns a shop here in Calabria, and she had to let go of some of her employees because of the financial crisis that we're in due to COVID. So I just volunteered to help her out, and that gets me out of the house for 4 hours in the morning, a couple days a week. And even though I have a lot to do in my own guest house, I'm not really dealing with humanity that much. I mean, I have people check in, I spend like 5 minutes with them, and then they're off to the beach or whatever. So I felt that that was necessary for me. And although I'm not receiving a paycheck, I'm receiving so much more than that. It's really helped me to feel connected, right, to humanity. So if any of you out there are feeling isolated, hermit mode is one thing. We have to be in hermit mode. I've been in hermit mode doing a lot of inner work, but isolation is not good. So reach out. I don't know if there's any opportunities to volunteer in your communities, maybe even with the, animal shelters, hospitals. I'm not sure. With COVID, it's harder to volunteer, obviously. But reach out if you're in isolation. It's just not a good thing if you have any alcoholic tendencies or addiction tendencies. Okay, enough of that. So I'm going to start the reading off with this is The Good Tarot by Colette Baron-Reid. And just know with this full moon in Scorpio, the full moon in Scorpio, it's known as the pink moon. Not that it's a pink moon, the color pink, but I think there's a flower or something that comes out this time of year that's pink. But it brings some of your shadow side up to the surface, which can really take you off balance. But remember that you're healing and letting go of this stuff so that you can bring in more of these light codes and remember who you truly are, so that you can bring more light to the planet as we go through this change from the Piscean era to this new era of Aquarius, right? The golden age of Aquarius, where people are more tolerant, more loving, more authentic and honest. And that's why you're here, right? To bring in the light. Okay, so what do we have here? We have the World card. So many of you in my readings that I've been doing are going through a period of completion, completing a chapter in your life and moving on to a new chapter. And that's what we're doing collectively on the planet as we increase our vibration, as we increase our consciousness, and move into this more enlightened era that we're going towards. So it's number 21. 2 plus 1 adds up to 3, and that's all about expansion. So for some of you, this could be a painful period as you go through this expansion and this closing of a chapter, but know that it's for your highest good. And then we have, this is the 7 of air. I need my glasses. So the 7 of air in many of the tarot decks can be about deception, right? Or even self-deception with that sword energy. What are you telling yourself? Right? What are you telling yourself? One of the reasons I talk about meditating is because it helps you to really listen to, I think it's your ego talking to you, which doesn't like change. The ego wants to draw you back. In fact, I was kind of going back into some old behavior patterns in the last couple of weeks. My ego was, I think, doesn't like change, right? No one likes change, but things are changing. That's the only thing that's constant, right, is change. So the 7 of air, you know, it's interesting. There's geese in this. There's geese in the card. And when I think of a goose, I think of loyalty. So I feel like Spirit is saying, be loyal to yourself. Be loyal to your own truth and follow your own inner guidance towards peace, which we have the 2 doves here, inner peace. Okay. And I feel like this expansion and change, although a little painful at the moment, is going to bring about more inner peace for you. And then we have the Fool card. So this is about, it's about starting over. It's a new beginning, right? With every ending is a new beginning. So the Fool card, which is a card of Aries, it's one of my favorite cards in the deck because I am an Aries. It's about, you know, a new adventure. So I feel like for many of you, you're going through a huge transition, huge change towards a new way of being, maybe a new adventure. You might not know exactly what that is right now, but you just know that you're going forward. You know that there's something on the horizon for you. Okay, so good stuff. All right. I'm being pulled to this deck. This is the Lemuria Deck. Heavenly angels, please show us guidance for the full moon. This is for the pink moon, the full moon in Scorpio. Okay, so we have, so the first card is the Violet Flame. And many of you light workers, way showers, whatever you want to call yourself, have been working with the Violet Flame that Saint Germain he honors us with that flame. But it's about, what's the number here? 52. 5 plus 2 adds up to 7. That's about being on a spiritual path. You're on the right path. It's also a number of Christ consciousness, unity consciousness, knowing that we're all one, we're all connected, right? So bring in that violet flame. You can surround yourself with the violet flame. It's a flame of transformation, awakening, and ascension. And we're all going through it. Okay, and then we have the infinite. 9, 10, 11, This adds up to the number 13. Number 13 is an amazing number. It's a number that, because of Christianity or religion, we were told was a number that was bad luck, right? They even have some hotels that don't have a number 13 on their floors, right? So we were taught that the number 13 was an evil number, a number to be afraid of, but it's actually a very powerful number that connects you to the divine, the Most High. You are connected to the Most High. And this is a card about infinite possibilities. Spirit is saying, think big. Don't be afraid of success. I don't know, someone needs to hear that. Don't be afraid of success. Don't fear success. Don't fear abundance or money. Some of us feel like we're not worthy to receive, or we have a fear of success because we feel like we're not worthy. Spirit is saying you are worthy. You're connected to the divine. And the earth. We are bringing in these light codes that are activating our DNA, and we are anchoring them into the earth. So you can't be all up in the higher realms all the time. We need to be here on the earth. And in order to connect, you really need to bring in both the earth and the divine. Okay. What else do we have? I'll pull a card from Colette Baron Reed's Wisdom of the Oracle. Heavenly angels, please show us guidance for this full moon. Oops, full moon in Scorpio. Building blocks. And this card kind of is peeking out. I'm just going to grab it. Okay. So building blocks. We've been building a foundation for this work for many years. I mean, there's people who have been doing this for many, many years. I've only been on this spiritual path for about 6 years now, but we're building. So the world seems a little chaotic, right? And I know I've mentioned before in my videos that structures needed to crumble in order for us to rebuild them. And we're doing that by holding the light. So if you watch the news and you're an empath and you get all worked up in the drama of it, it can really affect you. So I don't stick my head in the sand. I know what's going on in the world, but I also know it's for our highest good. And it's ushering in that age of Aquarius from the Piscean age of straight lines and right and wrong, and it's to an age of more tolerance and a more loving, enlightened age, I guess. So it's number 28. That adds up to 10. Again, a new beginning. And we are building that beginning now. So there's people who are boots on the ground protesters. I like to say passionate action, who feel the need to be out there physically. That's not my mission here. My mission is to hold the light, to bring light, to anchor that light into the planet, and to just be a kind person and do the best I can, basically. But we have been building this foundation so that we can move forward to a higher consciousness as a collective. And then we have the card Why. I can't see the number on this. Oh, it's 31. Interesting, because 31 adds up to 4, which is all about a solid foundation and balance. And Spirit says, ask yourself why. Okay, so Spirit is talking to me about choices. Why do you make certain choices in your life? And certain choices that you make in your life will put you on a higher, a higher timeline, right? Because there's many, many possibilities, and we move through timelines based on the choices that we make. And some choices that you make, people around you will be, they'll wonder why you're doing it. And it won't make sense to them, but you have to ask yourself, why am I making this choice? And Where is it coming from? Is it my inner guidance? Or am I making choices based on what the external is telling me to do? So, kind of sit with that and ask yourself why you're making the certain choices that you are. Okay. All right, this is Kyle Gray's Angels and Ancestors deck. Please show us guidance for the full moon. Thank you so much. Okay, we have Shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. Okay, I know a lot of you have many gifts creatively. Spirit is saying, start being creative. My daughter, she creates by baking. She loves to bake. She's really into the Mary Berry baking show. But that's how she unwinds. That's how she creates. She started painting recently as well. I create by painting. Some of you are sculptors, musicians, poets, writers. Spirit is saying that this creativity is being channeled through you. Remember that energy is always moving, and if you're connected to the earth and the divine, it's all running through you. See, we're channeling. You're channeling spirit. You're channeling the divine. So when you create and you get into that into that alignment, what do they say? You're in the zone, right? And even some sports people feel that they get into a zone when they're doing sports or some sort of activity. That could be the way you create as well, cooking, whatever it is for you. But it's not about just what you're creating. You don't want to focus on the finish line of what you're creating. You want to focus on the journey of it and the healing that it gives you as you're creating. Okay. So I'll pull a card from Amanda Ellis's Archangel Metatron deck. Heavenly angels, please show us guidance. Please show us guidance for the full moon in Scorpio. Thank you. Conquering fear. Yes, conquering fear. How many of you out there used to be artists or bakers or sculptors, whatever it is that you did, maybe as a child, and you were talked out of it because, it wasn't what society said how you could make money. There's that old starving artist phrase, and how many of you are afraid to pick up the pencil or pen or the paintbrush because you're like, oh, it'll suck, it's not going to be good, blah, blah, blah. Some of them will suck. I don't paint perfect paintings every time. Sometimes I just paint white all over it and start over. But it's all about conquering your fear, letting go, getting into alignment, staying in your heart with love. Oh, it says start today, number 17. Start today, start. Go to a craft store and just allow your eyes to guide you to where you need to be and what colors you like and what it is that brings you joy, and just do it. And you don't have to show it to anyone, it could just be for you. Okay, I'm going to pull a card from Kyle Gray's Keepers of the Light just to see what Master Energy is surrounding us for this full moon in Scorpio. Remember to put your crystals out. Maybe make a list of things that you wish to let go of. Spirit says the past. Yep. Spirit says, oh my gosh, I just got chills. Spirit says, let go of the past. Sorry about the plane. Spirit says, let go of your past. It's not... And this is a lesson I'm learning. Believe me. Just because I say these things doesn't mean I'm really good at it. But Spirit wants us to let go of that past. It's no longer in our now moment, right? It's not present. This is Master Buddha, increased awareness, deep connection, and trust your inner voice. So you are connected to Spirit. You are connected to the divine. Trust your intuition, that inner gut feeling it will never, it will always be for your highest good. Even if you don't understand it. Lately, I haven't understood a lot of my decisions, but I do now. I mean, 6 months ago, I was like, what the heck am I doing? And now it's starting to come together, and I'm starting to realize that the decisions that I've made are for my highest good. And you have to take care of yourself first, even if that brings some pain into your life. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Oh, but before I do that, those of you who watch my channel know that I've been working on a new oracle deck. I hope to have it in print by August. I have between 2 and 4 more paintings to do, and I just wanted to give you a sneak preview. So I'll show you some of these paintings that are going to be in the card deck. So just to give you a sneak preview, this is one about endings and walking away towards new beginnings. And then we have, this is the Open Your Heart. I'm just showing you a few just so you can get an idea of what my deck will be like. And then this is the card of Balance. Balance. Okay, so that's just a little sneak preview. Hopefully I can go to print and have all the cards printed by August. So, you know, I'm hoping that people can order them as gifts for Christmas. So that's kind of my timeline. But I'm new at this. I have never printed an oracle deck before. I'm imagining that it's going to take some time. So thank you all so much for sticking with me through this my own transformation. I really appreciate your patience with me because I realize I'm not getting the videos out as often as I used to, but I am on my own here, and I need to do yard work and cleaning and fixing and all of that. I also have my clients that I work with for coaching and do readings. So I try to get videos out, but quite frankly, you know, it's interesting. I like to do videos when Spirit comes to me with a message that I need to deliver. And so that's why I might not do a video like every day or even once a week sometimes. It's when Spirit has a message that I need to deliver, that's when I do a video. So, all right. Thank you so much. If you like these videos, please like, subscribe, and share. Liking the video and commenting really helps the channel. I'd like to grow my channel a little bit, and that would really help me. So have a great full moon. Have a great weekend, you guys. Namaste. Take care.